Happy Independence Day 2024. Well, I guess it's a little late for that now, but I am shooting on Thursday. Pardon my appearance. I just got done tilling all the tomatoes, cauliflower, cucumbers, and it's 84 degrees out, so I might be glistening a tad. But it's almost 5 p.m. and I did a whole lot of squat today. I mean, it rained from the morning till about 2 or 3 o'clock. So I was just indoors puttering around, taking cat naps. It was great. It's a true holiday. But now I want to get dinner going. I actually am about to do a little pruning up front. But I want to get a few things, get them in the kitchen. I'll show you what I'm doing. And then I have some stuff in the freezer that needs to thaw. So that can happen while I'm pruning up front. So let's see what we got out here. Come on, let's do it.
Come on, let's do it.
Okay, I did this on the last episode, the one that I zipped through at super speed. We picked some cabbage leaves. This is the Napa cabbage, and some of them are starting to head up nice. What I'm doing is I'm pulling the outside leaves, and that one's a little bit bug-eaten, so I'm not going to use that. But I'm going to get a few of the ones. Few holes don't bother me. That's a beauty right there. And I definitely want ribs for this. I'll show you why in the kitchen. So we'll get a few of the bigger outer leaves. That allows it to continue growing, hopefully up. You see? Here's the Napa here. And I want it to grow tall. This one's looking good. This one's bunching. Look, that's a Napa cabbage right there. See, it's closed up and bunching. Let's get a big leaf off the outside of that. Let's get one off of here. And you can continue to do this so you get multiple harvests while your heads are growing. All right, that's enough cabbage. And let's come over here. Carrots are almost ready to pull. So let's get in here to the carrot patch. This guy looks good. He's starting to come up. Ooh, yeah, baby. I'll tell you, these things are so sweet out of the ground. And that's all we need is that one. Well, I'm looking at all those lettuce, cabbage leaves. Let me get one more. Who's coming up? What you want to do is see, here it is. You see the cabbage? Cabbage. You see the carrot starting to emerge from the ground? That's when you know you can pull it. There's a beauty. Look at that. I think that's enough. And then these aren't quite ready yet, but I think I'm going to steal a little immature red onion because this guy's kind of falling over. Here. That might be a misplaced leek. That one's not very red, but here's one. Okay. Yeah, those are the red onion. They're just not mature enough, but we'll get some nice flavor out of that. All right. Napa cabbage, carrot, and some onion. Let's bring it in the kitchen. Here it is. I'll need to wash everything real well. Won't bore you folks with that. But let's see what we have in the freezer. So somewhere in here I have these little street taco shells. Flour tortilla, the small ones. And I got all kinds of beautiful fish down here. I got my skate, got steaks. By the way, I'm looking for some cod I just bought. Oh, even better than cod. I forgot what I got. It's haddock. Fresh haddock. The greatest. And by the way, FYI, quick tip, I only buy wild caught fish. All right, here's that haddock. Frozen solid. It's still got some paper stuck to it, but that'll come right off once it's stored. One of the great frying fish of all time. When I used to go to Sea Deli in Kingston for fish and chips, they always used haddock. Let's see, this is 0.35 of a pound. 0.35 pounds. One, I think I can get, these things are small, they're tiny. So I think 1, 2, 3 tacos is good, right? For Independence Day dinner. 3, I better do 4. I don't want to shortchange myself. So, now, by the way, I was just chatting with the man, the myth, the nephew, who seemed incredulous. Baja tacos on the 4th? All right, here's the deal. I was supposed to be grilling with Bill. Marbletown Boys have a gig on Saturday, private party, and we were going to be rehearsing and grilling steaks and etc. But he's coming tomorrow after work, just as well. So I'm here by myself. As I said, it rained all day. I'm not complaining. July 4th, Baja tacos. I'm going to go out, let this stuff thaw. I'll put it in the fridge, though. It's not going to sit out like this. And I'm going to get a little bit of yard work done because the morning, early afternoon was a complete waste. I shouldn't say that. It's a holiday. It was complete relaxation. Well deserved. But then I'll shower up. I'm going to pop the air conditioners on while I'm in the shower. And we'll make some Baja tacos. This is one of the strangest July 4th holidays for me in memory. It doesn't help that it fell on a Thursday, right? I don't know about y'all, but I'll be at work tomorrow at 8:30. Then we had the weather. It was rainy all morning. I did pretty much nothing all day till 4 p.m. That's when I went out and did that pruning. Still above 80 degrees. Came back in, took a nice shower with that ice cold rinse. And now I have a little cocktail here because it is a holiday, even though I'm going to work. I'll have one. Muddled up some pineapple that I had in the fridge and with a splash of lime juice. And I added some vodka. And I've been loving this. I bought this by accident. I thought I was buying the cheap Polar Seltzer, plain. Got home, toasted coconut. That happened a few weeks ago. Now I'm buying it regularly. All sorts of uses, and we're going to use it in our batter. So anyway, I should probably make a correction, and then we'll get started. I said Baja tacos. I have a friend who gives me a hard time when I use the word authentic. These are the farthest thing from whatever an authentic Baja taco is. They would use red cabbage slaw. I'm using the Napa. A million differences, okay? But as with anything, it's inspired by those. I'm doing fish tacos by improvisation. Let's get started on them. All right, let's put the slaw together first because I like it to just sit for a few minutes with the salt and whatnot. It gets nice and crispy but tenderized. Now, again, as I said, this would normally be a red cabbage. The Napa's a little different, but what I did is I took the top real floppy part of the green, I cut away, and I'll use that over the weekend for something. Sauteed, maybe with my broccoli rabe, we'll see. Because I want mostly the stem, the crunchy part of the stem, and I'm going to kind of like julienne those thinly. It is a slaw. But I'm also letting a little leaf action fall in there. But mostly I want these crispy stalks. And so that's why we're making it first, because the salt is going to break them down a little into a nice slaw. Okay, so I definitely let some green leafy matter get in there. But if you can see, for the most part, I'm using the inner stalk, the stem of the Napa cabbage, nice and crunchy. And when I tell you, these are delicious. So let's get some salt on that first, because that'll start helping them break down a little by pulling water right out from inside the cells. Okay, just a little bit of salt. And what I'll do now is I'll treat the carrot and the little young red onion the same way, and then we'll put that in, and we'll go in with our herbs and stuff. Okay, as you can see here, I cut my carrot and those young red onions pretty much the same way as the cabbage. This isn't quite julienne, I guess I'd call it the rough sliver method. And I only needed one carrot, looked like enough, so I'll bring that for lunch tomorrow. Put it in my salad or just bring it to munch on as a snack. So in we go. the Napa cabbage, the carrot, and the young Italian red onion, all picked just a few hours ago. Fresh cilantro. Now let's save some aside for the top. I got so much cilantro growing out there. It's a great year. Last year, not so good. But let's save a little for the tacos themselves. Chop this, but I'm only going to put half of it. I mean, I could always go get more, but this is so pungent. You don't need a lot. Oh, I can smell it from up here just from chopping it. And I've got a big yard full of it, which means I'm going to get jars full of coriander seed for the winter. Very excited. So let's take, well, we'll go half and half. We're going to save this for the crema. So cilantro in here. Now, I'm going to put, just because this is cut and it's on the counter, a little jalapeno. Now, this is from the market, although I just noticed today my jalapenos are coming in nicely. They're flowering. I got a couple of little peppers. Not enough where I wanted to pull them. You know I can get fanatical, and I don't want to add store-bought. But this jalapeno sitting on the counter, it's not hurting anybody. Let's get a few slivers in there. Okay, there it is. Let's just go with a little pepper. We already kind of salted, but you know what? I'm going to use a little of this garlic salt. Just a tad. And a little bit of lime juice, which will help the salt in softening everything up. So let's just toss. Quality control. Oh yeah. Wait till that starts softening it up a little. So I'm just going to set that aside. Next up, let's put together the crema. I almost made a traditional tartar sauce because I have tons of parsley out there as well. I happen to have capers. But considering we're mimicking sort of the Baja or, you know, coastal southern flavors, let's stick with that. Greek plain yogurt. I have a little of the homemade mayo left over from last weekend's Lobster Fest. Let's go with just a touch of that. And then I'm going to add that other cilantro that was chopped. And I also had a couple of slivers of the jalapeno that didn't make it into the slaw. And I chopped a few of the cabbage tops, the leaves, just to try to tie it together. Again, that's sort of the thing I learned from studying painting. Take a little blue from the dress, put it over there in the corner. A little bit of lime juice in here. Just a couple drops. And a little bit of cumin. Oh, and I have over here, whoops, that's too much. Let's fish that out. Told you on the last episode, there's always a remedy. There we go. Compost. Okay, a little bit of cumin, and then I have here some smoked paprika. Let's put just a pinch of that. And let's see how this crema came out. Basically, any just nice, cool yogurt on a taco is going to be good. But playing with flavor is half the fun. Oh, needs nothing. Perfection on the first round. Okay, I'm going to refrigerate that. All right, I grabbed that fish out of the fridge, thawed. I had it in a bowl with ice cold water I threw a half a slice of lemon in there and some salt. So let's give it a real good dry while we mix up our batter. I've got peanut oil on the stove coming up to temp in the mini wok. We are going to blast so let's set this aside. We are going to blast the vent hood, so be prepared for that. One fresh, thanks to the girlies. It makes sort of a semi-tempura style thing here. I'm going to use some of the sourdough starter because I refed, and this is sort of the discard, but I dropped a little flour on it this morning, so it's not active to the point where you want to bake with it, but it's kind of nice and bubbly. So let's mix that sourdough starter with the bread, with the egg. I got bread on my mind. That's why I fed, thinking about making a loaf this weekend. Okay, so it's a little thin, so we can add some flour. And also I want to thicken it with the flour because I want to add a little bit of that bubbly coconut soda. I just think that you may not even taste it after the fry, but I think it might be fun. Get a little of that coconut in there. You want the sparkling water effect anyway. It makes the batter nice and light. You know, you can use beer, but between the sparkling beverage and the sourdough starter, get a nice light batter. Airy. Egg helps it cling to the fish. Alright. I know you're going to think this is weird. Raw egg, raw flour, uncooked batter, but quality control. Beautiful. Couple grains of salt. Beautiful batter. Let's get over to the stove. Okay, fry station. Very important to be set up, organized, ready to go before you get going. So here's the fish, nice and dry now. I'm going to cut it into, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 2 tacos now for the show, and I'll do the others later. Because you want these things fresh when you eat them. Now what I like to do is cut little, like logs. Remember, we've got these small tortillas. Little chunks, logs. 1 inch maybe wide by 3.5, maybe 4 inches long. It's about 3.5. So we'll just do 2 tacos right now. There we go, 4 pieces. Set this piece of fish aside. It's only 0.35 fish total, so I'll eat all the fish. Let's get it in the batter. Check our oil. Get that fish well coated. Remember, this was sourdough starter, 1 egg, little whole wheat flour to thicken it up. Sparkling coconut seltzer. And let's see how our oil's doing. Dry wood stick, dry chopstick test, nice and bubbly. We can drop them. Let me reposition the camera, and I am going to turn on the fan, so be ready for the noise. All right, here we go. And if you notice, I've got a rack here with paper towel underneath. I don't like to put the fish on the paper towel itself, because I want it to stay crispy. In we go. Now, while that fries, I'm actually going to move this rack up onto the wood. You'll see it. I'll move the camera because I'm putting a flame underneath here, this front burner, to warm our tortillas. I'm going to back out a little. There we go. Now you got the overview. I've got this on. Turn it down to medium. Our batter is beautiful. So let's get these 2 tortillas on. Warm those up. Save my other 2 for later. I have them wrapped in a very slightly damp paper towel inside this freezer bag. Keep them nice and pliable, right on the counter. Quick tip. Let me get you down in there a little. They're beginning to get nice and golden. I want that light brown, toasty, not even getting close to burnt. And I should have been using this the whole time. That with the vent is huge. This catches the splatter and the steam, the grease steam goes right up. One of my best purchases in years. I think we're there. We'll turn off the oil. Pull these off. I got my rack here. We'll move over in a second. As much oil off as I can just from dripping, and then get them over on the rack. All right, let's reposition. Okay, I waited a couple of minutes there because these are hot anyway. We want those to sort of temper down. I flipped over my tortillas, but I waited a minute so I could shut off the vent. It pulled most of everything up. So let's get a plate up here. This is holiday, going to work tomorrow, chowing down presentation. We ain't doing nothing fancy, okay? So let's get our crema. Lay some of that down. Grab that slaw. You can see what the salt and lime juice did. It's still crunchy, but it's sort of broken down a little. Let's get a little carrot over here for color. And go with a little more because we got some, those are some nice, that could actually be 4 tacos right there. But let's see. I'm going to double them up. Little squeeze of lime. Little fresh cilantro. And our faux Baja tacos are ready to eat. Let me check this out. What's that word? That's sort of a palindrome of itself. Oh yeah, wow. Oh man. Perfect tropical drink accompaniment. Pineapple, coconut salsa, or vodka. And the Baja style tacos. Wild caught haddock, batter fried, slaw from the fresh picked Napa cabbage, mostly the ribs, right? Fresh pulled carrot, young red onion, cilantro. This is out of this world. Fish tacos, how could you go wrong? As the man, the myth said, Baja tacos on the 4th? Dude, Baja tacos on the 4th. We'll see you all for the next episode.
Come on, let's do it.
By the way, 7:45 p.m. Perfectly respectable time to be eating dinner, but I'm up at 5 and I'm going to work tomorrow. These two are going to do me. Meaning, I have all the fixings for 2 more tomorrow.